Well, this is not our usual setting. We're not in a studio, we're outside, we're in the middle of Santon, and you will see why in just a moment. It's time for Heroes and Zeros. And Andy, your hero.
Yes, Jen, certainly an unusual hero. In the ad feature this week, we spoke at length about business sponsoring the arts. We spoke about the BASA Awards that occurred earlier, and this is the perfect example of sponsorship of the arts coming from RMB, Rand Merchant Bank. They're our hero this week because they are the driving force behind the showing for the first time in South Africa of Warhorse.
I was reading some Michael Morpurgo stories, and my mum said to me, "Have you read the one about a horse in the First World War?" And it was Warhorse. It was an extraordinary story, and I immediately thought, maybe this is the story for which handspring puppets could create that definitive puppet that is going to play a leading role.
Theatrical blockbuster the world over, coming to South Africa next month, or in October, and thanks to the sponsorship and involvement of RMB, it also has a strong South African link because the bizarre and amazing puppetry is all created, conceived and built here in South Africa.
And of course we did see Joey for the first time at the Joburg Art Fair. But now, Joey, I want to give you something. Here's a little gift for being good. All good horses. And here he comes. Hello boy, hello boy, hello boy, there you are. There. God, he's eating it. Okay, steady on, steady on. There you go. I think he likes it. I think he really, really likes it. Having spent some time with Warhorse, what is your zero?
Well, Jen, anything by comparison has to be a little bit flat, I'm afraid, but this year's zero is based on an email that we received from a listener who was complaining, and I think quite rightly, about brands getting into the space of individuals, particularly on Facebook and Twitter, and imposing themselves on individuals' lives without request, without invitation. In this particular case, the brand was Energizer, but I'm not necessarily going to single them out as being the only culprit, far from it. But there is an old expression that says, stop interrupting what I'm interested in and start being what I'm interested in. And that's what brands must start doing in the digital space. There's concepts like native advertising, which deliberately blur the boundaries between editorial and advertising. And I think the brands need to, in some sense, know their place and not be as intrusive as was the case with this particular one.
Well, we hope that you are going to feel as moved as the two of us were and are, because we're going to be able to see it in theatre coming up quite soon. So it is just a wonderful thing to look at. Just go along to the 702 Facebook page with Andy Rice. You'll see exactly what we mean.